In manufacturing, we're always obsessing over the big stuff, the machines, the supply chains, the output. But today, we're going to talk about something that's just as critical but often flies under the radar, the front gate. How you manage who comes and goes, well, it's about a whole lot more than just security. It's about safety, it's about compliance, and it's even about operational intelligence.
So let's just start with a really simple question that gets complicated fast. Who is physically inside your facility at this exact moment? I'm talking employees, contractors, suppliers, visitors, everybody. Can you account for every single person with 100% certainty? If you hesitated even for a second, you're about to see why that's a risk we really need to talk about.
And this slide just perfectly captures the two different worlds we're talking about. I mean, it's like night and day, right? On one side, you've got the old way, those messy, illegible paper logs, people always forgetting to sign out, and just blind spots everywhere. But on the other side, a clean, real-time digital dashboard, perfect time-stamped records, and total visibility. It is literally the difference between chaos and control.
Okay, so let's really dig into the problem with paper. It feels so simple, right? A clipboard, a pen. What's the big deal? But those binders at your entry points are often a massive hidden liability, creating risks you might not even realize are there until it's way too late.
And this is where it gets really interesting. These seem like small little failures, but they create huge risks. That scribble of a signature, it's not just messy, it's a completely useless record if there's an incident. Someone forgetting to check out, well, that means your emergency head count is just flat out wrong. And think about it, a piece of paper has no way to stop someone with an expired safety certification from walking right into your most hazardous zone. No way at all.
So, what's the alternative? This is where we make the leap. We're moving away from a simple passive sign-in sheet and towards something so much more powerful, a truly strategic tool. We're going to shift from just documenting who came in to actively controlling and even learning from it.
So what exactly is this smarter system? Well, at its core, an entry tracking system is a digital tool, and it's designed to do a few key things really, really well. First, it verifies who someone is. Then, it applies the right rules for that specific person. And finally, it creates a perfect, reliable, real-time record of their presence. It's all about replacing guesswork with absolute certainty.
All right, that all sounds great on paper, right? But how does it actually work on a busy factory floor or at a crowded security gate when you've got trucks and people coming and going? Let's get into the mechanics and see how this system actually functions in the real world.
The whole process is so clean and controlled. A person arrives, they scan a QR code or their badge. Instantly, and I mean instantly, the system checks their profile. Do they have the right safety training? Are their certifications up to date? If everything checks out, boom, it grants access, but only to the specific zones they're actually approved for. Then it prints a professional badge, and the entire thing is logged. All of this happens in just a few seconds.
So you're probably thinking, okay, that's neat, but why should I really care? What's the big payoff? Well, it's huge, and it really all rests on these three foundational pillars: safety, compliance, and operations. Let's break down how a smart entry system totally transforms each one. First up, safety. And honestly, this is the big one. This is the most immediate and critical benefit. You get a live, accurate head count of everyone on site, all the time. The system can literally stop someone who doesn't have the right training from entering a high-risk area. And maybe most important of all, if there's an emergency, you can generate a perfect, accurate list of everyone on site in an instant.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It says it all. When that alarm goes off, you absolutely have to know who you're looking for. Speed is crucial, for sure, but that speed is totally useless without certainty. You need an accurate list, not just a guess. And if you want to see what that certainty looks like in numbers, check this out. It takes about 90 seconds to generate a real-time digital muster list. Trying to do that the old way? Grabbing clipboards, trying to read that handwriting, putting it all together? That can take over half an hour. In a real emergency, that 28-minute difference, well, that can be everything.
All right, pillar number 2, regulatory compliance. Think about your next audit. Instead of dreading it and spending days digging through dusty binders, you can generate a perfect, time-stamped access log in seconds. But even better, the system enforces your policies for you. It can require a digital signature on a safety briefing right there at the kiosk. It ensures compliance happens automatically every single time someone walks through the door.
And finally, the third pillar, and this is the one that honestly catches a lot of people by surprise: operational insight.
all that data you're collecting, it's a gold mine. You can suddenly see when gate traffic is heaviest and staff your security team accordingly. You can perfectly verify a contractor's hours on site for dead accurate billing. You're not just logging entries anymore, you're collecting real intelligence that helps you run the entire facility better.
Okay, so let's pull this out of the clouds and put it right on the factory floor. How does this technology actually solve the everyday headaches that plant managers and security teams are dealing with right now?
Just look at these common scenarios. For contractor management, it completely solves the chaos of checking certifications and making sure everyone's seen the safety briefing. For those high security zones, like labs or clean rooms, it provides an ironclad, perfect audit trail. It even helps with something as simple as shift handovers by giving supervisors a crystal clear view of who's clocked in and who hasn't right from the start of the shift.
So at the end of the day, it all really boils down to this one question. Is your front gate just a door, a potential blind spot in your whole operation? Or could it be one of your smartest assets, a source of data that makes your entire facility safer, more compliant, and way more efficient? The technology to make it the latter is here, right now.